الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. يا ربي لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في سبيل ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. فاللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا وعن الإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جازيت به نبيا عن قومه ورسولا عن أمته. اللهم أحينا على سنته وتوفنا على ملته وأوردنا حوضه واسقنا من يده الشريفة شربة هنيئة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا. أما بعد, my dear respected brothers and sisters, as we are expecting more people to come in the end, if you can please move forward a little bit to provide space for those who come late, that would be highly appreciated. Jazakumullah khair. May Allah bless you. Today I just want to talk to you about one of the dangerous heart disease. As we are discussing this with Imam Aly Lela every Friday, Imam Aly Lela talked about anger and hatred and envy. And he said that sometimes when people get very angry and they cannot do anything, then this anger turns into hatred in the heart, and hatred also leads to envy or hasad, one of the very common practice in all nations, in all cultures and tribes. The definition of hasad is to dislike to see others enjoying any blessing and to wish for the blessings of others to vanish and to be lost. And this is something that we have to really think about and to do our best to purify our hearts from. Hasad does affect others. And the hasid, the one who envy others, is suffering tremendously because he cannot stop the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People will continue to enjoy blessings. And if every time someone enjoys something that he does not have, or sometimes he has, then he will always feel discomfortable and frustrated. The Quran talked about this phenomenon. أَمْ يَحْسُدُونَ النَّاسَ عَلَى مَا آتَاهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. Or they envy people for what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed them with. وَدَّ كَثِيرٌ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ لَوْ يَرُدُّونَكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ إِيمَانِكُمْ كُفَّارًا حَسَدًا مِنْ عِنْدِ أَنفُسِهِمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الْحَقُّ. Some among the people of the book, they wish for Muslims to revert, to go back to the Jahiliyyah religion and polytheism out of envy. Because they used to feel that we are superior to others because we are the people of the book, and now this book is coming and the people are following them, now they are superior to us. So they wish that Muslims would leave Islam out of envy. So envy is true. Hasad happens. And I just want to highlight the danger of hasad for the one who envy and those who have been envied against. Imam Aly Lela defined hasad as disliking a bounty that another has received and wishing that the other person would lose that bounty. That's a simple definition of what hasad is. And he said that if this discomfort one feels in his or her heart when they see others enjoying the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, graduate, got a good job, got married, started business, bought a new house, any of these blessings, they don't like to see others succeeding like them. And the problem with that is the hasid, as I said, in dunya, he is always constantly being punished. Like has this fire in his or her heart all the time. They are the ones who suffer most by envying others. But when it comes to deen and spirituality, this person in reality, he is objecting to Allah's choice, because it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who distributes his bounties among people the way he subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted, for a reason and wisdom that we may not fully understand. So as the one who envy others objects Allah's choice. why you're giving them so much. They shouldn't have more than idea. I wish I can stop this from happening. And sometimes people actually take action to destroy these blessings. And some actually hurt themselves. This is how sick some people are. They hurt themselves to put the blame on others and to cause problems to innocent people that they envy. And we often talk about how to protect ourselves from the hasad of others. Well, I think it's also important to start by ourselves and to think about ourselves. Are we, or do we, sometimes envy others and wish that the blessings that others enjoy would be lost? Do we do that sometimes? We have to start with ourselves all the time. There was a story of two of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, one of the Muhajirin and the other from the Ansar, Amr ibn Rabi'a and Sahl ibn Hunayf. Sahl ibn Hunayf was taking a shower, and Amr passed by and he looked at his skin and he said, "What kind of skin is this? I've never seen skin like this, even the skin of a virgin girl." And Sahl ibn Hunayf collapsed immediately. And nobody knows what's going on with him, what kind of disease he has. They went to the Prophet ﷺ and they told him about what happened, and he called, he said, "Bring Amr to me." And he told him, "Why would one of you kill his brother? Why would you kill your brother?" And then he told him what he should have done, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and said, "Halla barakta." You should have said, "Barakallahu feek, mashallah, what a beautiful skin, mashallah." That dua takes away this envy from your heart. Because you may admire something others have that you don't have, maybe. But once you see something, you have to always say, "Barakallahu feek, may Allah bless your job, your house, your family, your children, whatever you admire." That's one way, as Imam Ghazali said, that one way to remove this hatred from the heart, from your heart, is to always make dua immediately. But sometimes people wish they have what others have, which is okay, that's not envy. But sometimes they don't wish to have what others have, but they want or they wish that others would lose what they have. And in this case, the question is, how would this hasad affect? Does it affect, and when someone has this bad and strong ill feeling towards someone else's blessings, how would this affect? A lot of talk about this, but in the field of parapsychology, that explains sometimes things that could not be understood based on the laws of physics. So parapsychology, 150 years old kind of science that talk about the psi power, the power of the psi kappa and psi gamma. And they talk about some phenomena that cannot, again, be explained by science. The psi gamma, that the people who can communicate with others without any means of communication. The telepathy, they call it the telepathy. People can communicate with others and can hear each other, although they are hundreds of miles away. And it happened. And there is a story of Umar radiallahu anhu, who was giving a khutbah on Friday, and then he talked to one of his generals were fighting somewhere in Iraq, and he told him to resort to the mountain for safety. And this man, this leader, heard Omar's voice and he followed his instructions. And the people of the masjid did not understand what Omar is talking about. All of a sudden, he changed his subject and was talking to Sariya. That was his name. He said, "Yes, Sariya, resort to the mountain." And Sariya heard him and he followed him. Mothers, sometimes they feel the pain and the suffering of their children, although they are hundreds or thousands miles away from them. They know, they feel there's something going wrong, and they try to call, and they found out that there was really something was going wrong. How did he know it? I don't know. They say, "I didn't know. I just get this feeling that something is going wrong with you." Sometimes very accurate, in the exact very second that her son or daughter feels pain and suffering, she feels it immediately. So this idea of parapsychology, perhaps to some extent, explains this effect of hasad. And as Sigmund Freud actually said that in the old days, people used to have this power as tools of protection. They protect themselves against wild animals and stuff like this, but now they say it's still there. It's not as powerful as it used to be in the past, but we all understand that it does exist. How does it affect? We don't know exactly. This may explain parapsychology phenomena, can explain to some extent. Also, they talked about people can move things from distance. That's also true. People can focus on something and they can freeze water, for example, or break things or make things move. It's true. Will this fully explain the phenomenon of hasad? Allahu A'lam, maybe. But we know hasad is real and it does affect. And it affects actually the one who envy others. That's the key point. The one who envy others will always be in trouble. One of the first sins committed was arrogance and hasad. Iblis, la'anahullah, he envied Adam, and one of the two sons of Adam envied his brother, and he killed him. We know the first murder case in human history is the case where Qabil killed his brother Habil. So this stays with us for forever. This part of as Imam Ibn Rajab said, it's part of human nature. They don't want to see anybody succeeding or being superior to them in knowledge, in money, in family, in anything. And all of us, young and old, men and women, we have to really make sure that we clean our heart from this kind of feeling. Imam Ghazali said that to know, one of the indications that to know whether you have this in your heart or not is when you feel bad when you see blessings bestowed upon some people, or the opposite, to feel good when people lose these blessings. And that could be used as a good indication. What if I found that I have this? I sometimes feel good when people suffer or lose something, or feel bad when people enjoy some blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a sign. And what should I do then? We'll talk about this inshaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another story that Imam Ghazali mentioned in his Ihya is the story of the king's assistant, someone who is close from the friend, he's considered the best advisor to the king, and he always sits on his right, and he's the best advisor from the king. And he used to say to the king this advice that reward those who do good and leave those who do bad, because their bad will destroy them. You don't have to worry about wrongdoers. Their wrong will destroy them. And someone envied this advisor, the king advisor, and he came to the king one day and he told him, this man that you consider your best friend and advisor, then you know what he said about you? He says horrible things about you. He says that your breath is awful, and the smell of your mouth is horrible, and make fun of you. I said, no, how do you know that? How do I know that? You are telling the truth. He said, just one day call him, let him come close, talk to him, and you'll find out that will be disgusted from your mouth. Okay, I'll do that. Then this envious guy, he invited the king's advisor for food. And he came and he put half onion and garlic in this food, intentionally. Okay. And then he went to the king. And the king called him to talk to him. And when he came close to the king, he put his hand on his mouth for the king not to smell the garlic and the onion that he ate. But the king said, yeah, this man was right. And he wrote a letter and he gave it to his advisor, the king. And he told him, take this letter to that person and tell him that the king asks you to fulfill what's written in this message. And he said, okay, I'll do that. He took the message and went out of the king's palace, and that envious guy saw him. And he said, what's going on? He said, no, I have this letter from the king. what's in this letter? I said, I don't know. The king told me, don't open this message until you give it to that guy. And he said, must have, written something like a gift for you or something. I said, maybe. He said, why don't you give me this message? I need some money. And he said, okay, I'll take it. He took it and went to that guy. And that guy opened the message. And the message said, let's kill the messenger who is bringing this message to you. And this is what happened. And before he killed him, he told him, listen, I'm the wrong messenger. It was not me. It's supposed, he said, I don't care. I have to fulfill the command of the king and to do what he wants me to do. And that was the meaning of the advice that this man used to give it to his king, that reward those who do good and leave the wrongdoers, for their wrongdoing will kill them or destroy them eventually. So hasad destroys people's heart and destroys sometimes nations. And sometimes people actually they don't only have ill feeling, but sometimes they act upon it. And they go and take the words from one person and give it to the other with the intention of causing animosity. And sometimes they lie to hurt people. They take action to see this blessing that people enjoy lost. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. In the day of judgment, nothing will hurt, nothing will help except coming and meeting to Allah and meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a sound heart. And obviously, hasad does not make our heart sound. So we have to understand what hasad is and how to clean our heart from it before we seek protection from others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for protection from hasad. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق من شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to protect himself and his family by making du'as. And when these two surahs, قل أعوذ برب الفلق and قل أعوذ برب الناس, were revealed, then he left all the du'as he used to make and he only repeated these two surahs, قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس. And he recommended sallallahu alaihi wasallam every single morning you read قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس 3 times. And this will protect you from all evil things. If you read them in the morning, you get this full protection until the evening. When you read them in the evening, you will get full protection until the next morning, and so on and so forth. We cannot control what other people do to us. You don't know what's in the heart of those who live around you. But make no mistake, you will see in your life people who smile in your face and their heart is full of hatred. We don't know. We should not be judgmental. But what we need to know or to do is to protect ourselves at all times by saying this adhkar. Every morning the Prophet ﷺ used to say, Bismillah alladhi la yadurru ma'a ismihi shay' fil ardi wa la fis sama' wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. Beautiful, easy, simple. You're seeking Allah's protection by saying this beautiful dua, Bismillah, the name of Allah, alladhi la yadurru ma'a ismihi shay', with whose name nothing can ever harm in the heaven or on earth. وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. Also, the Prophet ﷺ told us this is important. Don't invite anybody to your house except the people that you know that are trustworthy and good believers. Invite to your house those whom you think are good people. Always remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always say, MashaAllah, may Allah bless you and your family and your house. These people with clean heart. Of course, again, it could be subjective. We don't know exactly. But do your best and make your own judgment. In the hadith also, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said about envy that it was narrated that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa, يا موسى لا تحسدن الناس على ما آتيتهم من فضلي ولا تمدن عينيك إلى ذلك ولا تتبعه نفسك. Never ever envy people for the blessings that I bestowed upon them. And ولا تمدن عينيك إلى ذلك. Don't let your eye always look at what others have and that you don't have. ولا تتبعه نفسك. Don't let yourself attached with these things that people have and you don't have. إن الحاسد ساخط لنعمته. Because the one who envies others, he is discomfortable with my decision or my judgment. ومن يكن كذلك فلست منه وليس مني. Those who envy others are not part of me and I'm not part of them. Allah does not like those who envy others. Allah wants us to be happy with what we have and to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us that we don't have. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about hasad, there is one kind of hasad. It has the linguistic name hasad, but in reality is not hasad. That is that you wish to have what others have. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if you really want to wish that you have something others have and you don't have, let this be in the case of knowledge and money. When someone has knowledge and he's spreading this knowledge, and someone who has money and is spending this money right and left fi sabilillah. If you want to be like someone, think about these two kinds of people. Those who have wealth and they are spending right and left fi sabilillah. Or someone has knowledge and he is teaching people fi sabilillah. Don't look at other properties and wealth and fame and all that. That's not worthy of thinking about. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our hearts. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us content with what we have. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all and our families and our communities. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف خلق المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. أما بعد, my dear respected brothers and sisters, I just asked myself this question, that why Muslims and Muslim community are not regular in coming and attending lectures. And I thought maybe we need to think about these great scholars, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ghazali, Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Bukhari. If one of these people were alive today, would we come and listen to what they have to say? If Imam Ghazali is alive and he came to visit IAGD, how many people will come to listen to him? We study Imam Ghazali's books. We just read what he wrote and discuss his ideas, his thoughts. We just present it and discuss it, and of course we have opportunity for people to ask questions and give comments. But the number of those who attend these lectures comparing to the number of the community is very small. So I would urge you to think about spending some time to learn your deen, very important stuff that we need to be aware of. That's Friday after Maghrib, every Friday after Maghrib, between Maghrib and Isha, almost 1 hour, could be an hour and a half, depends on the Iqamah time. So I really think that it's worth actually spending some time keeping away games and movies and other entertainment, and bring our family, come listen and have a discussion. Whatever you hear, be critical about it and think about it and ask questions. And try to apply one single thing of all what you heard. If you got one new information and you are determined to follow it, that would be great. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised those who listen and follow the best of what they listen. الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه أولئك الذين هداهم الله وأولئك هم أولو الألباب. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in knowledge. And this is an invitation for all of you, for brothers and sisters, to come and listen and be part of the discussion. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك رزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا. اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث، فأصلح لنا شأننا كله، ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا إلى أحد من الناس يا رب العالمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين. اللهم انصر دينك وكتابك وعبادك الصالحين. اللهم طهر قلوبنا بما طهرت به قلوب عبادك الصالحين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا، انفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم استر عوراتنا وآمن روعاتنا. اللهم احفظنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا ومن فوقنا، ونعوذ بعظمتك أن نغتال من تحتنا. صلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. وأقم الصلاة.